For a long time, I thought I was using AI, prompting, testing, generating content. But at some point, I realized that wasn't learning anymore. It was consumption. So I decided to change the question. Not what can AI do for me, but how do I design systems that think with me? That decision pulled me into something deeper. Agent design patterns, and learning them not by reading, but by building. I started with a very practical constraint. I didn't want theory overload. I wanted compressed learning with traceable insights. That's where NotebookLM became critical for me. Instead of reading scattered articles and posts, I combined written material and YouTube content on agent design patterns. For each pattern, I did the same thing. I explored what the pattern is for, when it actually makes sense to use it, and where it breaks down. I created a dedicated notebook per pattern, feeding it notes, PDFs, transcripts, and fragments, and used NotebookLM to surface patterns, contradictions, and gaps. Not answers. Observations. It helped me accelerate sense-making, not replace it. And that shift mattered, because once patterns started to emerge, I needed a place to test them. My first real experiment was intentionally naive. I built a single multidisciplinary agent. In anti-gravity, the goal was simple. Could an agent team help me build a small content platform? So I created a development-oriented setup to explore free versus membership content, a basic blog, an about page, simple structure, nothing flashy. This wasn't about shipping a product. It was about observing behavior. What happens when an agent has to decide, not just respond? That's when I learned my first hard lesson. The system was producing outputs, but it wasn't thinking. There was no memory of intent, no way to evaluate progress, no criteria for success. So I introduced a strategy agent. Its job was not to create, but to log ideas, track decisions, define what good looked like, measure whether development effort actually mattered. This changed everything. The system stopped being reactive and started becoming directional. But there was still a blind spot. I work in a highly regulated environment, so ignoring compliance wasn't an option, even in experiments. I added a compliance role to the agent system. This role had authority to check Austrian legal constraints, to challenge unsafe assumptions, to block public deployment if conditions weren't met, and to redirect the team toward what was actually required. This wasn't friction, it was realism. And then I went one step further. I introduced reinforced learning. Agents were allowed to learn from mistakes, log failures, adapt rules over time, not hallucinate improvement, but earn it through iteration. In 5 days, I had a functioning multi-agent setup, clear role separation, memory of decisions, learning loops, and a system that behaved differently on day 5 than on day 1. So I shared the result with 3 close people. Privately, no hype, and the reactions were revealing. The first reaction, polite postponed. No time now, let's talk later. We still haven't talked. The second reaction, no response, but concern expressed elsewhere about whether I was okay. And the third reaction, immediate support. Continue, I see how this makes you happy. Same work, same result. 3 completely different interpretations. That's when it clicked. Early experimentation isn't evaluated on logic. It's evaluated through fear, availability, and curiosity. Some protect the status quo. Some step back quietly. And some recognize momentum, even if they don't fully understand it yet. My next experiment leaned into constraints. I asked, can agents operate inside strict rules the way we do in banking? So I built a nutrition engine, prescribed meals, explicit preparation rules, no improvisation, traceable logic. Now I'm extending it with a shopping list engine. And it's genuinely fun, because results are fast, observable, and correctable. This is where AI stopped being hype for me. It became a thinking partner. a system that helps structure judgment, not replace it. What I learned is simple. You don't learn AI by watching it work. You learn it by designing constraints and observing behavior. By building, by iterating, by letting systems fail safely. So if you're curious, don't wait until everything makes sense. Jump into the elevator. It's already moving. And honestly, it's much more fun inside than watching from the outside.